This is a New York Muscle Radio Network production.
Hey there, guys. You're listening to the Bikini and Barbell Show, the #1 resource for bikini-ready fit chicks. What's up, ladies? Welcome to the Bikini and Barbell Show episode number 7. 7 common mistakes that women make in the gym. Have you ever worked out and asked yourself, I wonder if I'm doing this right, or kind of just going with the flow? Well, in today's episode, I'm going to bring these common mistakes that you might be doing in the gym without even realizing it to your attention. And I'm going to give you some recommendations for improvement and just overall making you a better lifter. If you're a new listener, subscribe to this channel and hop on board with the rest of the women in the fitness world. I'm your host, Laura Bevilacqua, and with me today I have Anthony Bevilacqua and Pete Kacharian. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, ladies?
What's going on, guys?
Ladies,
How you guys doing?
Guys is a universal term. Come on, man. You don't got to be that critical.
Come on, man. In today's world, you got to be politically correct.
That is true. We might offend some people, but then again, we're known for offending a few people here and there.
Laura, what's up with you?
Nothing much, you know. What about you guys? Just work, school, busy, keeping busy.
Yeah, I hear you. So before we even start this podcast, I just have something I want to mention. So I've been getting yelled at. Big Pete's been getting yelled at because apparently on one of the episodes we cut you off, Laura, and we just talked over you, I guess. I don't know what we did, but I just want to let you guys know. So Laura is new to podcasting. She is has no experience in this whatsoever, as we didn't either. So we are helping her host this show. So this is just a new venture for Laura. So when we do these things, it's just because we're helping her. We're helping her grow, and we're helping her learn how to do the podcast. Laura gets a little nervous with these things, and we're just trying to educate her as fast as possible on how to be a good host on a podcast. I mean, I'll just tell it because I know Laura won't, but Laura lacks a little bit of self-confidence. So for her to do this podcast really is her stepping outside of her shell. And as you guys can tell from 7 episodes, she's really improving every time. Laura, I'm going to spill the dirty laundry again, but the reason, I think because the women could relate to this, that's the only reason why I'm bringing it up was, you mentioned this to me earlier in a text when I told you have to come out of your shell, and you said, it's very hard for me, and you said, quote unquote, it's stupid's fault, meaning your ex-boyfriend's fault. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I just basically, in my past relationship, there wasn't really confidence brought to the table. And it was kind of just all about him and not really about me. So I kind of always put him first before myself. So I was kind of always in a shell, I would say, and I was always shy as a kid, but usually.
Wait, let's give. I'm cutting you off. I'm horrible. But just give our listeners so how old are you now? How old you guys been dating for 5 years. So how old are you when you started dating him, and how old are you now? Just so everybody understands, this is a critical stage development.
Yeah, so I would say 19 when I started dating him, and I'm 23 now. So I was pretty young starting in that relationship, but as the years went on, I always kind of made him talk and always made him talk for us. And now that we're not together, it's like, oh shit, I have to be myself now. How do I talk for myself? How do I express myself? So it's kind of just a learning experience from now.
Yeah,
and
so you're learning how to kind of be on your own.
Kind of just talking for myself and having my own mind and thinking,
So it's kind of sad, I wanted to bring this up for twofold. One, because I wanted to explain to people that we're not cutting you off, and I understand that me and Pete have our own podcast, but we're helping Laura. But Laura is very, very shy and very, very quiet. So we're breaking her out of her shell, and as her older brother, I'm always pushing my sister to be better and to be better about herself and just to improve her life. And that kid was a loser, and he brought her down so much. So this is a great way for her to gain a lot of confidence in herself. So, guys, I want you to go on her Instagram, @LauraBevs. Tell her how much you appreciate her, because the comments that she's gotten so far has, I believe, kept her running on the show. So she needs that kind of support. And, again, she loves helping people, but it's just her getting out of her shell. I mean, I think we've all been in a relationship before. I mean, I don't know about Big P, but we've all been in a relationship before where we've been confined by that relationship, where It was just a toxic relationship, and Laura was in one in a critical time in her life. Laura doesn't really have a lot of confidence to begin with, and having someone like that, and we've all tried to tell her, but you know what happens when you're in love. But it's just very hard. So guys, just bear with us on this. We're not doing it to be rude to Laura, cutting her off or anything like that. We are helping her, and trust me, in another 7 episodes, Laura's going to be flying, doing on her own thing here. So just hang on, guys. Pete, can you relate to anything we said? You're saying they're confused.
No, well, I was thinking about what you're saying, and I'm like, you know what? Actually, I think people already like Laura more than me and you. She's only seven episodes in.
Yeah, I do appreciate the love, guys. I do.
They already want us off the show, so I think she's off to a good start. So I think that's already a good confidence boost for her.
Yeah, but I had to give everyone the rundown and the backstory behind it, And it's really sad. Obviously, I love my sister very much, but it's very sad to see how much in her shell she was, and it's nice to see her actually start going out. That's why when she did her first powerlifting meet, it was her breaking out of her shell. So I think that this podcast is gonna encompass Laura's life and Laura's growing, and I think that this is excellent for her on her road. Would you agree, Laura?
Yeah, I feel like this will definitely boost my confidence and help me to achieve where I actually really want to be, and just being myself and being accepted by everybody,
And finding your own identity.
Yeah. Exactly. At 23 years old. But whatever.
Yeah, listen, I
believe
still
it
don't
or
know
not. Yeah, I was gonna say, believe it or not, that doesn't sound that old. I'm 27. All right. So,
yeah, Pete doesn't even know where he's going today.
I'm not a model of success here, guys.
So I do want to let you guys know you can now subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.newyorkmuscleradio.com/video, where we'll be posting a bunch of videos of helpful advice and types of exercises, maybe some food comments and macros and stuff like that. So if you guys want to subscribe to that channel, that's where you can watch all that interesting and fun stuff.
Yeah, we're still waiting for your waffle video.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm going to get on that because every time I do make it, it overflows on the waffle maker, so it just makes a big mess. So I don't want to put that in the video.
Yeah, but like I told you, you have to just be yourself. Who cares if you make a mess? It's part of it. Pete is a walking mess. He gets away with it. Look how far he is. Look at him.
I don't get away with anything in this life. Everything that I do gets exposed, especially when I have Anthony on the line on the podcast. With anything in public, he never lets anything slide.
Yeah, so don't worry about it if you make a mess. It's never going to be perfect, and that's what you have to understand, because our listeners know this already. They're going to make it, and they're going to make a mess too. So it's okay if you make a mess. But we want that video because I want to make it. I want to make it too. How many grams of protein said that? 50?
50, depending on the protein that you do use.
Yeah, come on, man. You're holding back.
Yeah. All right, I got you. So I just want to talk about my macros and how I've been eating lately ever since my powerlifting meet. I think I finally got comfortable with counting my macros and eating the way I want and not really measuring to the gram and being as strict as I was being for my meat. Because back then I was using to the gram because I had to be a certain weight. And now that I really don't have to worry about that, I'm still learning how to use my macros and to really just be consistent with the weight that I'm at. And if you guys do have a problem with tracking macros and you want like a guide for it, I would definitely look into cracking the flexible dieting code on our ebook. And it'll definitely give you a breakdown of how to use your macros the right way and basically not to tell you how to eat, but ways of eating. And it's just going to become way easier for you guys to start counting your macros. And it's actually a fun thing and not really a chore.
Yeah, so wait, so you mean you're eyeballing everything right now?
No, not really. But I would, like, if I'm counting...
You're loose.
Let's say counting an avocado. I wouldn't really go to the 30 grams. You know what I mean? Like if I hit 32, I'm like, okay, that's okay.
Yeah. That's definitely something that you want to do more for like a long-term strategy. Like you said, when you were competing and you have to make weight and stuff like that, that's the time and place to be 100% on. And I think some people get mixed ideas when we talk about that, because we do talk about flexible dieting where you should be flexible with it. So like you said, if it's 32 grams, 30, not a big deal. We do this all the time when we do our cooking videos. If we have a few grams that over or under, we don't care. We count it. But if we're both dieting, competing, or doing anything like that, then that OCD, 100% macro counting, it fits into place. That's when there's a time and place for it.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree more. And I'm glad that you're able to learn. We're still reverse dieting. Have you gained any weight?
No, I've been consistent with it. I can't lie though, I've been enjoying myself a little bit because being so consistent with it since basically the summer, I'm like I kind of want to not take a break from it, but just be like boost that metabolism up and just be comfortable and kind of be able to go out if I want to go out and but I'm still being consistent with it.
Yeah, well, you know what it is? A lot of people think that when you diet, you have to, diet, reverse that. You always have to be 100% on point. And, well, that's really, really good. But once the goal is achieved, it's even harder to stay on point because of that. So sometimes people take that way too literally and like, I don't have nothing to worry about. I'm just going to eat this and eat that. And I think you have a good balance of it because yesterday for Super Bowl, I happened to pass by and I saw that you were eating Quest chips with salsa. So I think you do a good job of mixing everything in. What else did you eat for Super Bowl?
So I had my protein waffle. And then, no, I just had...
the protein waffle that you won't tell us it's like a hidden secret.
Yeah, no, I counted all my macros throughout the whole day. But like you said, while everybody else was having like Tostitos chips with salsa and sour cream, I was having fat-free sour cream with salsa and my Quest protein chips. So it kind of balanced out that way. Like I didn't feel really out of the loop. I was still having chips because I was craving that. So,
Pete, what about you, man? What did you eat for Super Bowl?
Oh man, what do we have? I had some wings. I had some chips. I had a hero, a chicken cutlet hero.
Did you count anything?
Loosely. I definitely know, and that's a good example because that's a very hard meal to track accurately. If anybody says that they went to a Super Bowl party, they ate takeout wings, they ate a hero that was made at a deli, and they ate chips and dip and everything like that, and they fit it in perfectly, they're either confused or they're lying because that's a very, very hard meal to put in.
Confused.
Yeah, they might be confused. They might think that they're doing it right, but they're not. So in that case, the best thing you can do is estimate. That's really all you can do. And, in a flexible dieting scenario, when you're not trying to lose weight, when you're maintaining weight, when your calories are high, it's very easy to do that, be flexible with it, fit it in, and, even stay underneath your calorie budget for the day, which is pretty much what I did. That was one meal or, a period of time of a few snacks. But overall throughout the day, my macros were pretty much on point. So I was able to do that. Now, if my calories were lower or I was dieting, there wouldn't be as much room for that amount of flexibility. But there's a time and place for everything, which is part of the whole picture.
Yeah, ladies. So if you're stuck eating tilapia and asparagus while watching the big game or whatnot, you really need to head on over to NewYorkMuscleRadio.com and pick up a copy of Cracked and Flexible Dieting Code because it will show you the best way to diet for a lifestyle. And that's exactly what, as you can see, Laura's keeping it that way. She's tracking loosely and still maintaining her leanness weight. So there's no other way about it. That's good. And good job, Laura. Good job.
Thank you.
So before we recorded, I was, I'm waiting for putting my daughter to sleep and my wife's watching TV and my wife has the baby on her. So I'm waiting for the baby to fall asleep, to take her up to bed. And my wife watches that stupid show, The Bachelor.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so did you ever watch it?
I saw like the first season, I think, or something like that.
So for those of you that don't know what The Bachelor is, basically a guy and he's on, he has a whole bunch of women. We talked about this in the last episode, I think.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch
why do
women.
I think that this is coming around to me anytime soon?
But seriously, so I'm watching the show and this guy's like going through all these dates with these girls and whatnot. He's trying to pick one and whatever. He gives them roses to keep them on the show and kicks the other ones off that he doesn't like. But dude, seriously, I'm thinking about it. I think it would be great if we put Big Pete on that show, man. I would love to see that. I would pay to see that.
Pete, what do you think?
Do those guys get paid to go on that show? Yeah, right?
I don't know, but a lot of them become famous after.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'll do it, man. Sign me up.
Oh, man, can you? Because you can apply. I'm dead serious. You can apply. Maybe one of our listeners will go ahead and apply.
You guys make the whole portfolio and presentation and submit it for me. You guys have my consent.
Imagine him on TV.
Oh, my God. That would be so funny. Pete just walk on there. Like, he wouldn't talk on any of the dates. He'd be like, who lifts here? And then the ones that don't lift get sent home.
I think that show is so ridiculous. I mean.
So idiotic. So idiotic. But the girls, I think, are even more stupid on the show because they're like, oh, I'm trying to fight for his love.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's kissing the other girl.
Yeah.
You know what it is, though? Because of drama and TV and entertainment, they pick the worst case scenario for everything just because that's going to be more entertaining. So, you can't really expect any real relationship to come from that show. A lot of entertainment.
I think they do get married. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did they actually stay. What was
I'm
the
sure
one
they
that
don't
won
stay
last year?
together,
Did they stay
though.
together, Laura?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. But the best is that there's always a season after season. It like doesn't end.
All right, so maybe I'll be on the next season.
Oh my God, we have to. But you can apply, dude. I'm applying you.
You guys do it
to.
for me. I don't want to do it, but you guys have my consent.
I have to.
Anthony, what kind of picture are you gonna put on as a profile?
I'll just send one of his bodybuilding ones. They'll definitely take him. They'll definitely take that. Oh my God.
So Pete, I think we had a question in regards to me. You got an email or something?
Yes. So we're actually, like I said, everybody likes Laura now. They don't care about me and Anthony. These email questions that we're getting, they used to be, to me and Anthony, but this one's directly to Laura. This one's from Brittany. She says, "Hey guys, I'm loving the Bikini and Barbell show. I have a question for Laura. Who do you follow on Instagram/social media to get inspired? Who motivates you to lift heavier, look better, etc.?" She said, "Any female pros?"
Yeah. Okay. The one that I follow the most is Amanda Bucci, and it's at Amanda Bucci Fit. She actually just started her own podcast as well.
That's a free shout out for Amanda Bucci.
Yep. And she basically started off as a bikini, whatever, competitor. And she just did her first powerlifting meet. So I think it was really cool to see her journey along the way of being she used to be, I think, 113 pounds. And she gained for her power, I don't want to say her weight, but whatever. She's now like 130, in the 130s. And she looks even better than she did as a bikini competitor. So I think that's just really cool how she got her body so strong and still looks great. So she was really my motivation along the way because our meet actually was on the same day. Hers was in California. And so it was just really cool seeing her lifting and then me doing it as well. So it was easy to stay motivated.
Well, I think we're going to talk about this when we get into it, but the 7 common gym mistakes. But one of the things I could tell you that she said, I don't know, I have no idea who this girl even is. I couldn't tell you what she looks like. If I could walk down her, past her on the street, I probably wouldn't look back. But one of the things that I could tell you from what you're saying, if she looked better doing powerlifting, it's probably because she actually started training. When she was doing bikini girls, you got to understand, they barely train. They think they train hard, but they don't. And
it's basically about diet with, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I was kind of laughing in my head when Laura described her as, she goes, a bikini, competitor.
Whatever that
like,
is.
no interest at all in bikini competitor. She's the only girl in fitness I know that just no interest in all, which is cool. I find that funny, though. All powerlifting.
But that's definitely someone that I would look up to, and I would definitely give her a follow on Instagram because she's definitely motivating and inspiring.
Another free plug.
Just saying.
Who else?
Damn, that's
I know
hard.
she follows AB
There's
Fitness a lot. I
That's
know he's
not a girl.
not.
I know
he's
he's a
not
guy.
a female, but
Yeah.
for
That's
some motivation and inspiration.
What do you expect?
Honestly, there's so much out there. There's so much fitness inspiration out there. Noelle, this girl Noelle, she's actually good too, and just there's a lot on social media. There's a lot, but the most that sticks out to me the most would be Amanda.
Isn't there like, don't you get like overwhelmed sometimes with so many people?
Yeah, sometimes it's just so much, and I'm like, okay, all right, like everybody's doing this now.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
the fitness
But-
industry for you.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of competition, I feel like.
Definitely.
All right, so I just want to move on to the Bikini and Barbell quote of the day. So this quote, I don't know if you guys saw this movie, Deadpool.
Love Deadpool. That's your favorite movie, right?
Favorite movie ever. What about you, Pete?
I actually have not seen Deadpool
This
yet.
fucking kid, man.
Oh, are you
Yo,
kidding
what
me?
is wrong with you, man?
Well, I gotta
No
go.
way.
I have to go on The Bachelor and get a nice girl to go out and see Deadpool with. So that's my
Maybe
problem.
listen. Maybe if you went on The Bachelor, you'd actually fall in love, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I doubt that's happening.
Deadpool is actually a love story,
Oh,
so
is it?
get on that.
It might bring out the romantic side in me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this quote is
Wait, this quote's from Deadpool?
yeah, he actually says it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds, if you guys don't know.
I love Ryan Reynolds, man. He's
He's my favorite.
He's so
Dreamy.
He's so funny though. I think he's a really great actor.
Yeah.
I love
Pete, do you know who that is?
I do know who Ryan Reynolds is. Yes.
Okay, good.
He's got a good body. He works out.
Yeah,
he's in good shape.
Yeah, he doesn't just do crunches on the floor.
He goes to the Hollywood doctor.
Do you think he's on juice, man?
I probably.
You think so?
At certain times, probably.
You think all actors are?
Yes.
You know what it is?
Like, I was actually sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the reason is not that their bodies are not attainable without taking any type of performance enhancing drugs. It's the fact that they get really big or really in shape for a role for a very short period of time, then they go back to looking normal. So they're not actively in the fitness world. They don't really know exactly how to get in shape. So there's quick transformations constantly. And we all know that, if you're going to do this naturally, there's no quick transformation that really happens. It's a long period of time.
Yeah, they kind of need a quick, appearance.
Plus, there's a lot of incentive to do it. I mean, if you need to gain a few pounds to play, Thor or Troy or whatever role it is that you're doing, and you're going to make millions of dollars, there's a lot more incentive than the average person just going to the gym.
Yeah.
Way to use women, Pete, in the analogy. Used every male. There's so many women characters. You have Scarlett Johansson. She played Black Widow. You have I forget who played Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman? What was that one in Superman? Superman and Batman.
Wonder Woman, right?
And Wonder Woman, I think so.
Yeah, but I'd say with the women,
you went
with
the guys. You belong on New York Muscle Radio, man.
Women always look good. That's why.
Yeah, but with the women, there really doesn't need to be a huge transformation the way it is for men to play superheroes. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, that makes sense then.
Yeah. All right. Anyway,
they take stuff. Wait, hold on. You think they take stuff? Women?
The women? I mean, it would more be like fat burners, not anything too extreme. All
right, go ahead.
Maybe some unhealthy fat burners, but yeah.
Yeah. So thanks to the Deadpool movie, I scream maximum effort before I do anything I could fail at. It actually helps my confidence. I usually have crippling self-doubt.
So who said that? Do you know?
Well, it says Deadpool. You know how in the movie he kind of talks to the...
Oh, so this is actually from the movie? I don't remember him saying this.
When I don't know, this is what I found. So I was trying to think about that too, if he actually said it in the movie, but...
Oh, well, I guess that's where maximum effort comes from.
Yeah.
That's a quote from the movie, Maximum Effort?
Yeah. He says that before he goes on to doing, a big fight in the scene of the movie.
So he says maximum effort, but what does it mean again? Before I do anything I could fail at, it actually helps my confidence. I usually have crippling self-doubt.
Yeah.
So that's all right, what's that called? Neuro-linguistic programming, Pete? I think I think that's what it's called.
It actually is, yeah. So he's basically changing the way his mind is working at that moment to kind of shift him into... He's almost like getting himself in character like he is from the movie. So now he's no longer... In his head, if he's having doubt as himself. But his character, or whatever person he's trying to portray, is fearless. So when he says that stuff, he kind of puts himself in character mode. So how would his character act? Yeah.
Yeah, so almost like he's putting himself in a peak performance state, as Skip LaCour would say.
Yes.
He puts himself in a peak performance state. So, Lord, look at it like this. I guess I could relate it to everyone listening to this. So, if you ladies were out there and you were going to deadlift, it would be like you stepping up to the bar, getting ready to do it and say, oh, I can't lift this, and then just saying maximum effort and then grabbing the bar and lifting it.
That's actually what I was going to say. The day of the meet, I kind of said that to myself a couple of times before I got up to the bar.
Maximum effort.
Yeah. So I just thought that was maybe that's advice to give you ladies. Just say it often and it'll stick to you.
Yeah, I think a lot of bodybuilders do use that stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure Arnold has used something like it. I don't know what it would be, but everybody uses a trigger thing. Some bodybuilders actually hit themselves, and other people recite things before. So I just think that it's it's just another way to zone yourself out. So even if you don't want to say maximum effort, it could be any trigger word for you that's going to get rid of that self-doubt.
Yeah, Anthony, at your meet, remember you said you got under the bar and you were like, come on. You were talking to yourself, basically.
Yeah, I don't know what I say to myself. I really don't know what I say to myself.
I actually try and do the opposite. I try not to say anything.
Why?
Because my mind runs so fast that I could have all the negative thoughts going on at once. So sometimes it's better for me just to cut it off. So it depends what kind of mood you're in. There's some days where I'm really on and I'm having thoughts running through my head, but they're all positive. So I let those keep going. But when you have self-doubt and you have negative thoughts going on in your mind, if you try to shift those, sometimes it just makes it worse because you're paying attention to all the negative thoughts. So sometimes just shutting them off is better. So it all depends.
It's definitely something you have to practice.
Yeah.
You can't just run in and just start screaming things before you get into the bar. I don't think that's it. I mean, I talk to myself, I guess. I don't even know. Like I said, I don't know what goes on in my head before I lift, but I think I talk to myself a little bit. And I don't know. Whatever works, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Today's trending fitness topic I want to get into actually is interesting to me because this topic is basically something I've always looked forward to, but now it's trending. It's nesting at home is the new going out.
I hate that word, man.
Me too. I don't even know what does that mean.
Nesting, like you nest, so you're making a nest to stay at. And I don't know, like nest, like a bird's nest. I hate that. I hate that they use that phrase now. So nesting at home is the new going out. So basically, they're just like chilling out at home is the best way to go out.
Which I kind of like. It's more of like just you time and not having to worry about getting ready and all that. Like, it takes so much time to do all that. But anyway, there was a Pinterest researcher named Larkin Brown, and she confirmed that self-care searches are up 121%. So
what's a self-care search?
I guess just caring for yourself.
Oh. Self-care. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so
you know why it's like that though? And I don't know if the article might even say it, but it's all has to do with social media in the end. Because
that's what it said, actually.
Yeah, because when we were younger, if we wanted to know what was going on, we had to leave the house. You know, if I wanted to know what Anthony was up to, I'd have to leave the house and go talk to him. I can't sit and say, what's Anthony doing? And look on social media, you know. How's the party tonight? There's a party tonight. You have to go to the party to see it, to find out how it is. Now you could just look at it on Instagram, you know. So I guess it's good and it's bad to a certain degree, I think, but it's causing people to stay inside because there's no real incentive to go out in the real world.
I think that, especially now with fitness too, it's like, it's a cool thing to do, you know, sitting at home and relaxing, you know. I mean, for Laura, I guess you could relate to this because you like to relax at home. I mean, I do too. I'm a homebody myself, so I'll go out. I'm not saying I won't go out, but I prefer to be home and relaxing at home.
Yeah. I actually want to ask you guys, what do you guys think are the pros about going out?
Well, are you single or with someone?
Either way.
There's going to be,
You can't really.
There's going to be different pros. I guess I'll take that one.
Yeah, go ahead. You take that one.
There's going to be different pros to going out, whether you are single or are in a relationship. The pros, obviously, if you're single and especially if you're looking to meet somebody.
Oh, the single ladies.
Or if you're just looking to have a good time or whatever and you're single, you have to leave the house for that to happen. You can't sit in your house and have that just come to you. A girl's not going to just show up at your front door unless you're really good on Instagram, if you're one of those guys. But generally, that's not going to be the case. You know, you're not going to just sit there and a girl's going to show up at your front door. You're going to have to actually go out and meet people. So that would obviously be the pro. I'd say if you're in a relationship, though, especially, and this is easily related to fitness, anybody involved in fitness is a lot of people that get into fitness. Maybe you're not a competitive powerlifter. Maybe you're not a bikini competitor or any type of competitor. You do this just because you want to look good and you want to improve, your self-confidence. You want to just feel better about yourself. A lot of times people want to do that so that it improves their life in general. So if you're getting in good shape, you're building your self-confidence, you're building your social skills, you're going to want to go out and enjoy that. You know what I mean? That's kind of the reason you do it. So spending all that time to feel better and look better about yourself, but then staying in the house all the time and doing nothing is almost like a waste of time. So I do think there is definitely pros to going out, but at the same time, staying in is not a bad thing, but you have to balance it.
I think if you're in a relationship, I think being home is the best place you can be, especially if, you know, because I think that when they're referring to nesting, they're referring to being in a relationship. I think it's the best thing because you could actually learn more about each other and just enjoy time together. If you go out, there's so many distractions to go out. Not to say that your couple can't go out and have fun, because that's definitely not what I'm saying, but I think nesting is a good way to get together and actually learn about your significant other, especially in the beginning. But yeah, definitely important. There has to be a balance.
Definitely a con of going out, though, would definitely be running into an ex, and that's something I'm staying away from a little bit. So I'll definitely be nesting at home.
Laura,
that's a bad idea. That's
a horrible idea. Laura, you got to understand. All right, ladies, this loser that Laura was with, I should shout him out so everyone can attack him on social media.
No.
Yeah, we have a whole clan of people that will do that if you ever need it.
Yeah, if we ever need the New York Muscle Radio family is behind you. But this loser that she was with, they've been together 5 years. He never drove. He was a loser. Didn't have a car. Never drove. She'd have to drive him everywhere. So Laura, if you go out somewhere, what are the likelihood of him actually being there? He'd have to actually. What is he gonna do? Take a bus?
Yeah. No, Uber is the new thing. No?
Oh, an Uber. Yeah, that's true. An Uber. Yeah, but Laura, again, one other thing. During this time that they've been together, he's had 17 jobs. 17 jobs. This fucking kid had 17 jobs. So, with that said, he's currently probably unemployed. So, Laura, how is he going to afford the Uber to come out to where you are? I think that's a horrible idea, you staying home.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
well,
and if you genuinely want to, that's a different story. But if that's the reason, go out.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Go out. Enjoy yourself. You should. How old are you?
23.
Yeah, you got to go out there and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to run into that dopey.
Nah.
If anything worse comes to worse, we'll just make his.
I know you'll be right there if I ever told you where I saw him.
Yeah, I'm ready to step on his head, man. All right, I actually have a fitness trending topic, and I found this one, and I thought this was really, really cool and funny, and it's really fitness related. The new thing apparently is for fitness girls, fitness competitors, models, any type of fitness girl, especially on Instagram, to take pictures not in an optimal position. So basically, showing off that a natural body, basically like taking pictures, not like twisting and finding the best lighting, but taking pictures with like in showing off their natural body. So like if they're sitting a certain way and there's like stomach rolls, you know how we sit down and there's just you just have skin that rolls over. It's just normal. That's normal. That happens to everybody. So basically, these girls get in these positions to take pictures like that with no makeup, no roll, just showing their rolls and just showing their natural self. And this is apparently the new thing to do. I don't have the article, but I read the whole thing through, and I just thought that was so interesting. I was like, I got to bring this up on the podcast.
Yeah, that's actually all over social media lately. They'll take they'll put two pictures together, and it'll be one of her just standing and then one of her sitting, where her rolls are actually just. But it's not like a bad thing. She's showing that it's not. It's normal.
I think that if that's the case, if women start doing that, it'll actually like help out, because there's so many people that scroll through Instagram and find that and like, wow, this girl looks, and you have to see like the pictures that these girls had up. Like you're wondering like, wow, this girl's unbelievable, her body's insane, and the next one's like, whoa, she needs to work out. It's the same girl, and it just goes to show you this is what happens on social media. They're showing you a snapshot in time, and you got to remember too, one of the things and one of the secrets that most of these Instagram people do, they take multiple pictures. So guys, watch this. Pete, when you post a picture up online, how many pictures do you take to actually get that picture? So the one that goes out, how many pictures prior to that were taken? Honest, man, be honest.
It really depends. I mean, a lot of times when I do posts, 'cause I don't really care that much personally, but like let's say I diet down and I'm like getting ready for a contest and I want to show myself in the best possible light, like it has to be perfect. I'm not going to just post any of the pictures. Man. So I'll maybe take like 5 or 6 and then post the best one.
Yeah, I think that's normal, though. I think everybody does that.
Not me.
You just take one picture and then put that one picture
That's
up?
it. I'm too lazy to take multiple pictures.
No way. For real?
Ask Pete.
Yeah, he don't care.
I really don't care.
What if your smile's like off?
I don't care. If I'm doing it for a purpose, then yeah. I'm not one of those people that take another picture. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck.
So you really don't care about social media?
Not at all. I hate it so much.
Because you say you hate Snapchat.
Hate Snapchat. I'm like the worst. I have it. I just go on every once. Like I haven't been on all week.
Yeah, I'll send you something like of me lifting and no response, no nothing.
Honestly, I don't even know how you respond.
Great support, Snapchat. Man.
Yeah.
Snapchat. Well, text me if you want to know. Text me.
Oh yeah, but Snapchat's so easy. But I guess on Snapchat you can't really edit anything, so that would be.
Well, I don't care, so it doesn't matter. I'll put out anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what the problem is with that too, though. Just because a lot of people get this idea in their head of what people look like based on where they look on social media, and the reality versus social media is very, very different for a lot of people. I can't tell you how many times I've been to, me and Anthony can relate to this too. We've been to expos and we've met people that we know from social media, and we're like, holy shit, that person's a lot smaller than they look online.
Oh my God, yeah, the YouTube muscles.
Yeah, YouTube muscles, man. There's a certain, for anybody who doesn't know what YouTube muscles, there's a certain height and weight ratio especially for guys, women too, though, where they look really good on camera, but then in real life, you're like, wow, they're a lot smaller than they look on YouTube or on Instagram.
Yeah, their arms look gigantic, and then, meanwhile, their arms is like the size of my forearm.
Yeah, they look very big by themselves. It's always an illusion,
Yeah.
But that's how it is. So, you got to meet these people in real life, and then, you get hit with reality. You're like, wow, I've been killing myself trying to look like this person. I realize I already look better than them.
All right, ladies, it's time for the listener question of the day. If you ladies have a question that you'd like us to answer, just submit it on our website at www.newyorkmuscleradio.com/listener question, or you can call it in at 508-687-2534. So today's question I thought would be interesting for a future topic episode, but I figured that we just briefly talk about it and answer it. And this question is from Katie, and she asks if you can offer any suggestions on how to get those nice rounded shoulders with definition that all of us bikini competitors strive for.
That's a great question.
So, yeah, I thought that was a great future topic for an episode.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Especially for women, I think shoulders are one of those muscles that women want to have more. I mean, I can't speak for women, but Laura, so like when you look at a girl, what's one of the first things you look at? I'm curious too, so that's why I'm asking.
I usually I look at the lower body, but
yeah, well, most women definitely do.
Yeah.
So what in particular, lower body? We'll start there.
The glutes.
Really?
And actually, no, the quads. I would say, because I'm dying for. I don't know why I am, but I just am. Like bigger quads, yeah. Not yet huge, but
Well, it's in your genetics, girl. Don't worry about that. They'll come. So you look at the glutes, the quads first, then the glutes, I guess, right?
Yeah, and then I would like
work your way up.
Body. Yeah.
Pete's like me too.
Yeah,
so wait, so what happened?
You wanted me to agree? I just figured I didn't have to say anything.
So okay, when it comes to the upper body, what's the first thing you look at?
Definitely the arms, the shoulders.
Okay, see, so shoulders are important for women. And most women, I think it's funny. I think this falls in line with the glutes. I mean, we have a whole glute program on NewYorkMuscleRadio.com, a whole ebook. Laura was the model for it, and because she trained so many glutes in such a short period of time, training correctly. But we did a whole program on that, and the reason behind that was a lot of women can't grow their glutes. So and the reason why is the same reason why they can't grow their delts, because they do too much fluffy magazine type exercises that are not going to get you anything. For shoulders, they'll do a couple sets of lateral raises and that's the end of that and think that that's it. But ladies, if you're looking for definition in your shoulders and to get nice developed shoulders, you have to train your shoulders like Arnold Schwarzenegger would train his shoulders. You have to go heavy. You have to do more compound movements, heavier weight, and really just keep striving to add weight to the bar or dumbbell, whatever it is, because that's the only way your delts are going to grow. By doing all these foofy exercises, all this cable movements, this, that, and the other thing, you're not going to get any delts doing that.
Yeah, ladies, but I definitely want to be honest with you. Upper body for women, for some reason, I feel like it takes so much time and consistency, and you need to have patience for upper body, because in the beginning, when I started doing upper body, I would do it 2 to 3 times a week and still not see the results that I wanted to see. But as I started doing heavier compound movements, I would notice more definition in my shoulders along with my arms. And so I definitely just be consistent with it and don't give up on it. Don't be like, all right, this is not working, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I think the other thing too you have to talk about in this is genetics also. Pete, why don't you talk about genetics?
Yeah, well, that's male and female. Everybody's going to have a genetic predisposition to grow certain muscle groups.
Mr. Biceps.
Yeah, so I'll use myself as an example. Like, it's very easy for me to grow arms. A lot of people come to me and they say, what can I do for biceps? And I tell them, listen, I keep it heavy and basic, just like everything else. They just respond a little bit easier, but the formula I'm using to get them is the same that's going to work for everything else. It's just in time is going to take longer for those muscle groups that genetically you're not built to have easily. So for women, generally, most women, legs and anything lower body genetically, they're built to grow those way more than upper body. Most women don't have a problem growing anything in the lower body. Some of them are more quad dominant. Others are a little more glute and hamstring dominant. So you'll even see a lot of women that have trouble. They squat and deadlift heavy, but they still have very overpowering quads, but they don't really have the glutes and the hamstrings that they want. That's because they're more quad dominant by genetics. So for upper body, women to start with are already going to have a little bit of trouble in that department, but there's women that are built just genetically to grow bigger delts easily. They might already have them from doing very little. Some of them might respond a little faster, but if you're one of the few that have trouble in that area, the best thing you can do is just make that a priority over everything else. Because if you're focused on everything and you have a weak point that you want to bring up, you're not going to get that to respond as fast as everything else doing the same thing as everything else. So if it's your shoulders you want to focus on, make that a priority. Your upper body day should always start with shoulders first. You should do them when you're fresh. Put the most amount of effort into it. That's how you're going to combat the genetic weakness that you would have.
Laura, what's your favorite shoulder movement?
Dumbbell shoulder press.
Good call. I think, and actually I'm going to mention this and then we'll move on from here, but I actually think that the dumbbell shoulder press for development is far superior than the barbell. Barbell movement will definitely get your shoulders stronger and definitely help you get your bench stronger, but dumbbell shoulder press, whether it's standing or seated, is really going to help develop the delts so much.
Yeah,
each dumbbell is working independently.
Do you feel like standing while doing it is harder than sitting?
So much harder. Standing shoulder presses, period, whether with a barbell or with dumbbell, are way harder than seated because your whole body has to work there. I actually feel more in my shoulders when I stand.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, Katie, thank you for that question. That was actually a great question. And all right, beauties, we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back.
Looking to take your physique to the next level? Interested in working with the best coaches in the business? Hear what New York Muscle Radio clients are saying.
The best coaches I have ever had.
They coached me through a post-contest reverse diet and all the way through to an off-season strength program. Since working with them, I've added 55 pounds to my squat, 50 pounds to my deadlift, and 20 pounds to my bench press.
I have never had as amazing of glutes as I have training with them.
I know now that I don't have to suffer eating low carb or low calorie. I've gained so much strength and metabolism, all while staying relatively lean, thanks to them. I would recommend them to anyone.
So I can say, no matter what your goals are, you're guaranteed to be stronger, healthier, and let's face it, better looking.
Ready to join and take your physique to new levels? Visit NewYorkMuscleRadio.com now.
What's up, New York Muscle Radio listeners? It's your co-host, Big Pete Kacharian, and I'm glad you're all listening. Put down that tilapia and asparagus. Learn how to get bigger, stronger, and leaner eating what you want. Pick up a copy of Cracking the Flexible Dieting Code exclusively at NewYorkMuscleRadio.com. But for now, let's get to the show.
Damn.
Nice, Pete.
What?
I saw you checking out that girl's butt.
What? I was just checking out her yoga pants.
Pete.
I was thinking you'd look really good in yoga pants.
Uh-huh.
I was like trying to check out what brand it was. Like I was looking at her form on deadlifts. They were all messed up.
Do you think she has a nicer butt than me?
Well, it definitely doesn't look like a pancake.
Did you just call my butt a pancake?
Well, I mean...
What can I do?
You gotta try New York Muscle Radio's Glutylicious program.
Glutylicious?
Yeah, you'll finally get a celebrity booty, like all the other girls following the program.
Fine, I'll do it. But don't get jealous when other guys check out my glutylicious ass.
Glutylicious, your guide to getting a celebrity booty in 12 weeks. Now available exclusively at NewYorkMuscleRadio.com.
All right, ladies, welcome back to the Bikini and Barbell Show, episode number 7. 7 common mistakes that women make in the gym. So mistake number 1 we have here is not consuming pre- and post-workout protein.
Good call, Laura. So you made this list. So why did you put that up first? I'm just curious.
Because actually this is not only a mistake made by women. I feel like some men do it also. I don't know if you guys agree with it, but I'm sure there is men out there that don't use a pre or post-workout meal. I don't know if you guys can.
I think it's more common with women.
Maybe, yeah, I wouldn't just put this on the woman though. But
yeah, I mean, there's definitely guys that train faster, but I just feel like that's more of a myth with women. Women like to always want to weigh less, so I don't know. I never really hear a woman like post up like, "Oh, I'm having so many carbs pre-workout." I never heard that before. Like a guy will take a picture on Instagram of his whole like burrito bowl and this and that pre-workout meal. I never ever Actually, our client, Kalina, our coaching client, Kalina. And if you guys actually are interested in coaching, you can head on over to NewYorkMuscleRadio.com and pick out coaching. And you can pick, we're all going to work with all three of us. But Kalina, actually, she's the only girl ever I've ever seen post up her pre-workout meal online. Only one. Only one.
I'm curious what it was.
Actually, I don't know if this is a pre-workout meal, but 4 packets of oatmeal, peanut butter, and protein. That's a big meal.
Yeah, that is a big meal. But see, some women are afraid of doing that.
Posting that, you mean? Or eating?
Both.
Yeah, both.
But that's why I figured that would be a good mistake made by women.
Yeah,
definitely,
I think... Go ahead.
Because mostly... You have to think to yourself, how do you expect the muscle to begin the repair process without fueling it with protein? Your body needs that protein to fuel after a heavy workout that you just did. I'm talking about post-workout. And also for pre-workout, you need that body fueled already, ready to go, full of energy to get through that workout.
Yeah, so I think with a lot of people that they don't do this, there's 2 reasons generally. It's either laziness. A lot of times people just don't even want to do it. Or, for women, maybe the reason that women do it is because they have the mentality that less food is better if they're trying to lose weight. So, I'm not hungry, so I'm not going to eat anything. Or, that's more calories that I have to burn or whatever. Those are usually probably the 2 common mistakes. But the other one is now a lot of people are becoming a lot more accepting of flexible dieting. But they get a little bit confused with it because, if your goal is to either lose weight or gain weight, then it all comes down to either a caloric deficit or a calorie surplus. That's going to get the job done. But if you're trying to maximize the amount of muscle you build and your performance in the gym, there's absolutely no way around proper pre-workout protein, post-workout protein, and all around optimal nutrition pre and post-workout, not just with protein. So that's where I think a lot of people get confused. So even people that do follow flexible dieting might make this mistake and not have pre-workout protein and post-workout protein, which is definitely a mistake.
Laura, what do you eat pre-workout and then post? What do you have? Like, what's like a typical thing?
For my pre-workout, I'll have a turkey sandwich on a bagel with avocado. And then, or sometimes not the avocado.
I think you told us this already. I think I asked this question, but go ahead.
And for post, I'll have my protein waffle or protein
the one that
shake.
you don't want to give us the recipe for.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that, but yeah, I like to get in at least 50 grams of protein after I work out.
Ladies, if you want to hear this waffle recipe, the Lord.
All right, you're gonna make me have to make it
tomorrow. No, this is what we're gonna do, ladies. This is what we're gonna do. You guys are gonna message her on Instagram, or comment on one of her pictures at Laura Bevs, BEVS. And you have to tell her you want that recipe.
If I get at least 5, I'll do it tomorrow.
I was gonna say, she's like when we always talk about how if you want the recipe from your grandmother, you could never get it out of her. How many times you ask her, how much did you put in here? Oh, just a little bit, just a little bit. That's gonna be when she gives out the recipe. Guys, just put a little bit of this in there, a little bit of this. She's not really gonna give the real recipe out.
Man, they don't make them like that anymore. My grandmother, she used to do some crazy things, man. Used to be, oh, Anthony, you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry. Boom. 10 minutes later, there's a huge spread on the table of all this like homemade pasta. Like, how the hell did you just make homemade pasta in 20 minutes? I can't even make eggs in 20 minutes.
I know, it's bad, man. I that was my excuse why I was fat when I was a kid. It wasn't my fault. They just kept feeding me.
Anthony was still skinny.
I know.
After eating like that.
I'll never forget the first time I dieted for a contest, and my grandmother, she didn't understand it. She didn't understand like you have to diet down. She said, "But you look good. You already have muscle. What do you have to diet for?" She didn't understand. So she was just trying to feed me, and then at the time I was doing a more rigid meal plan, and it wasn't a lot. I wasn't tracking macros. This is before I knew anything. This is when I thought I knew everything, and I knew nothing. And she insisted that I eat something. She's like, "I'll make you corn." Don't even ask me where she pulled the corn out of, but she just got corn and just started making corn. I'm like, I guess I got to eat the corn. True story.
But ladies, I just want to tell you that most gyms that you go to have protein shakes. So after your workout, if you're really that lazy and tired, just go to the front desk and be like, "Can I have a protein shake?" And get that protein in after your workout.
Yeah, it's sick, Pete, the way you did it for me today too, right?
Anthony's a little upset that I didn't share my protein with him.
Yeah, we were running around. So we worked out. We were running around doing errands. So I'm like, all right, Pete, we'll jump in my car. So I get in my car, and he goes, I just got to drop off my bag in my car. Goes in his car, comes back with a fucking shake. I'm like, dude, why'd you tell me you were getting me a shake?
Hey, man, you're over here breaking rule number 1, man. You didn't have your post-workout protein. I was prepared.
Whenever Anthony comes to my house, I always ask, you want this? You want, and everything is protein related, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Laura always has the good protein snacks in the house, though.
Yeah.
What were those things you gave me, those little cakes? What the hell were they?
Oh, yeah, the little protein cakes. Did you like them? No, you said they were too sweet.
Yeah, they were too sweet, but that was interesting. Wait, what was it? Tell the listeners about it, because I think those are cool snacks for women.
I forgot the name of it, though, so I can't even...
Was it the muffins?
Like, I would have to... No.
Oh.
It was actually a cake?
Right? Isn't it On?
Was it? Was that the brand?
I don't know. You gave it to me.
Speaking of which, you know what I just found out about this, but I didn't hear about it. I went into 7-Eleven and I saw, that Quest bar makes a breakfast bar now?
Oh, yeah, I had them. They're horrible.
The cereal bar?
Cereal bar.
Horrible.
They're horrible.
Yeah. I always think that they're coming out with new stuff. We rip Quest. We rip them to shreds all the time, unfortunately, because I used to love their bars till they changed the formula. And now every time they come out with something new, I think that they're going to get better, but they just keep making up stuff that's just not good.
Do you like the chips?
The sour cream and onion ones are okay.
I love the barbecue.
The plain is just like, no, it's just, nah. I don't know why. Which one's doable?
Oh, yeah, it was On. It's Optimum Nutrition. They're
What are they called?
Optimum Nutrition Cake Bites Whipped Protein Snack Bar. They have red velvet, birthday cake, and they just came out with chocolate cherry, I think, which I actually bought today.
We should make a segment on here, because you always find these random ass things that are good, and like I think we should have a segment on here, not a supplement segment, but like a new food segment. I think you would love that. You always have. You and Danielle, oh my God, my other sister.
Danielle.
She buys anything. If it's on social media and it looks good, she buys it. But always have all these crazy things that I've never heard of, like those little cake bites. They were okay. I think it was.
But yeah, you get like three of them, 3 little bites, and it's for 7 fat, 20 protein, and 22 carbs.
Yeah, so it's like a Quest bar. But
yeah, they're actually filling too. So if you're craving that sweetness, I guess that's a good snack for it. Yeah, there's actually a lot.
I think we'll do that. We should definitely make that a segment.
Yeah, that's
I gotta think of a name for it. Laura's Secret Corner or something like that.
Let's move on to mistake number 2. Trying not to sweat. Now, I roll my eyes with this one because the gym is a place where is made for you to sweat. And if you're not sweating, I would say just leave, because you're basically not doing anything, because sweating is healthy. And I feel like when you're working out, you feel good when you sweat. I'm not saying that every lift you do, you're going to be sweating all the time, but don't be afraid to sweat.
Yeah, I think another thing too, another way to put it, because I don't sweat when I work out. I'm really not a sweater. I guess naturally I don't sweat that much. I sweat, but I don't sweat that much. But I think what Laura's trying to say too is don't be afraid to push yourself in the gym.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to push that intensity up and, really be heaving and huffing after you work out, and not just like, oh, I'm working out today. Oh, look, there's Pikacharian. Let me do some dumbbell curls. Look, he's looking at my biceps as I do the dumbbell curl.
Hey, listen, I don't mind if they're sweaty. If that makes them feel any better. No, but seriously, if you want to, if you're one of them, just make sure too. Then if you're gonna be sweaty in the gym, then just carry a towel around with you. You'll be all right.
Now, every time he talks, I think of The Bachelor.
Oh my God! I'm definitely getting him on The Bachelor. I gotta tell my wife.
I'm auditioning for it on this episode.
Oh my God!
But yeah, basically that. Like, don't be afraid to push that weight. Don't do accessory work and do it lightly because you're afraid to get that like oomph in your workout.
Yeah, you need that, ladies. That's what's really gonna take you to the next level, and that's what's gonna give you the body that you really want. Working hard at it. When you go in the gym and just half-ass it, you're gonna get that half-ass results, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
How common you think that is in gyms? Like the whole makeup thing, going in there to look for guys like Pikacharian.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Pete, have you ever picked up a girl in the gym?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Can I ask how it happened?
Animal. Yeah, you're an animal, man.
Not like in a creepy way. I mean, if you want to meet people in the gym, generally you know which girls in the gym are there because they want to meet guys. It's not like, oh, you just go hit on random girls in the gym. It's more about you just make friends in the gym, and usually the girls that are interested in meeting guys are the ones that you end up being friends with.
Now, if a girl was like sweaty, would you still go up to her?
Yeah, why
Only
not?
if she washed her hands first.
If the girl's working out hard and she's squatting and she's putting out a vibe that girl, if you have any type of social intelligence, you know which girls in the gym or anybody in the gym wants to be bothered or doesn't want to be bothered. The ones who don't want to be bothered, who are doing their things, have their headphones on, they're in their corner working out, they're focused and not talking to other people. Those are not the girls that are interested in meeting anybody. The ones who are there working out, maybe they're working out hard, but they're being social with other people in the gym. It's very easy to make friends that way. That's how everybody makes friends in the gym. People are out in the gym talking, working out, whatever it is you're doing. If it's a female, it's the same thing. So that's usually how you meet females in the gym.
But I have to ask you,
Mm-hmm.
so if a girl was really sweaty and she just like wiped her head for like a second before she shook your hand, what would you do?
Die. He would
He'd
die.
be like,
He would put out his fist.
are you really that
He'd
much
put out
of
his
a
fist. He'd be like
germaphobe?
this, the fist bump.
I'd take the hand and I would like, here, give me a hug instead.
But she's sweaty.
I'll cover it with my hoodie.
I've never ever.
I don't know. I never
when
had
go to
I
the
never
gym-
had that issue.
When I go to the gym, I'm there to work, so I don't pay attention to anything. I mean, I do the same thing at powerlifting meets. When I went to Laura's meet, so many people were coming up to me, talking to me. I had no idea who anyone was. Like, oh yeah, I was at the same meet as you. I'm like, oh yeah. I guess I do the same thing when I go to the gym because I never take notice.
Yeah, you're in your own little world.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Moving on to mistake number 3. This one's important because it's for bad form. I feel like bad form can really cause injury, especially when you think you're doing it right, but you're not. Because I know sometimes.
Are you referring to a certain exercise? Just in general? Like
I would just say in general, yeah.
So, like, no, but is there any exercise, like, do you see women do that's consistently bad?
Sometimes with the lat pull downs, I see people are just basically throwing it down to their chest and back up, like throwing it. And I'm like, you're gonna hurt yourself, and using heavy weight. So I think like just being really cautious with that because you don't want to hurt yourself, especially when you are going heavy. And if you don't know how to do an exercise, just don't do it. Like I would study it first or get somebody to help you with it. Because you want to make sure that you're using the right muscles also.
Yeah, you're pretty much going to be wasting your time with anything you do in the gym if you're not doing it properly. And a lot of times people will hear us say lift heavy, and we use that term a lot, heavy. But heavy is relative to what your strength is. So if you think heavy is squatting 185 pounds, yeah, that's heavy. But if you're only capable of squatting 135 pounds with strict form, then 135 is heavy for you. 185 is too heavy because you're not doing it correctly. So you have to take into account heavy is relative to your strength levels. So for everybody, that's different. Heavy for Anthony is a lot heavier than what's heavy for me. So, but we both train heavy.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point too. And I think that women, guys in general, they hear us talking, and like Pete said, they hear heavy, and they just okay, I got to go heavy because they said go heavy. But it's only in context. It's heavy for you. You know what? Just because someone's squatting 400 pounds, it doesn't mean it's necessarily heavy for them. Like if I was to do 400, that's not really a heavy day for me. It's like a moderate day. So don't look at the weight. Look at how you perform that weight. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Makes sense. I actually wanted to ask you guys, if you were in the gym and you saw someone doing totally had bad form or whatever, would you go up to them and say something to them? Because most people hold back, I feel like. But I know if I was using bad form, I would want somebody to come up to me and try to help me to fix it.
You want to go take it, Pete, or you want me to take it?
You can go ahead with this one.
No, I don't say nothing.
Yeah, I knew that answer was coming. That's why I let him go with that one.
What's the matter, man? You afraid to look like an asshole?
No, you see, the funny thing is, I would agree. I don't say anything, but the reason is me and Anthony too. Anthony especially, he's been working in gyms way longer than me. But I have a lot of time spent in the gym as a trainer, and most people don't want to be told that they're doing something wrong. That's the problem. The people, there's definitely a small group of people who are trying to do this that would like to make sure that they're doing things right, but most people don't want to hear they're doing something wrong.
Yeah, it's so true. People hate to be corrected. Yeah. Unless I'm asked, if someone asks me how's my form,
right?
And this happened to me so many times before. People will show me videos. Oh, look, I deadlifted 405. Look at my form, and I'm just like, yeah, man, it's complete shit. Your back is completely round. You look like a question mark picking the weight up, and that's not good. So again, you have to use good form with everything you do, and you have to use another thing too. Textbook form is not necessarily right. You have to find the form that feels best and comfortable for you, but that's within limits of textbook. So if you're a little off from textbook, that's okay. But as long as it's fitting your body, because one of the things we have to realize too, not every person can squat identical, and not every person can do certain exercises identical, because everyone's built a little differently. Big Pete's arms are a little differently than me, so when we bench, it's completely different. Me and Laura's legs are completely different, so the way we squat is going to be completely different. The way our hips move is going to be different. So you got to find that form that works for you, and I think a lot of people don't spend enough time figuring that out and listening too much to what other people say to do. So you have to there has to be a give and a take. You have to know what good textbook form is, and then you have to kind of figure out the form that works for you that's within context.
Yeah, well said. So moving on to mistake number 4 now is not just for the ladies, but anyone listening. I'm talking to everyone who goes to the gym and doesn't consume enough water with you throughout your workout. I don't know about you guys, but I always carry a gallon with me, so I know how much water I'm taking in every day. I don't know if you guys...
Yeah, I'm the douchebag that carries around the gallon with him, but only because it's easier for me with work. I just carry it all day. It just makes it so much easier. But yeah, I carry around my water with me, and I keep it with me in the gym, and I drink from it. Yeah, that's what I do. So yeah. But yeah, definitely that's one of the problems I see with most people. Whenever I get anyone for a consult in the gym, usually the majority of the time, I never understand this either. Oh, I have 1 glass of water. It's like, how do you have 1 glass of water a day? Dude, but it happens so much. Yeah. That's so true. 1 or 2 bottles. How the hell do you have 1 or 2 bottles? Especially if you go to the gym, how the hell do you have 1 or 2 bottles?
Yeah, you know what's funny? And this is a good example because it was a good reason. I actually had a client one time, and he got injured like 2 or 3 times working out. Not like a bad injury. Like we were doing a regular workout. Everything was safe. His form was spot on. And he would tweak something, he'd pull something, he'd cramp really hard. And eventually got to the point where I had to keep asking him, how much water you're drinking? Because I think you're so dehydrated that you keep hurting yourself. And he said, I try not to drink any water. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why are you not drinking any water? And he's like, and he actually owned a driving company. So he was in a car all day. He's like, if I drink water, then I got to get out and I got to find a place to use the bathroom. He goes,
but that's a legitimate thing.
Right.
That's legitimate.
But I'm saying it was directly causing him to get injured constantly in the gym because he was so dehydrated. So a lot of people have to pay attention to that. A lot of times injuries come not from doing form wrong, not from doing anything too outside the box, just simply because you're dehydrated. And you don't realize when you work out hard, when you consume a lot of calories, your body's going to need more water. So you have to drink even more water than you think you need in a day. So a lot of people that do get injuries, a lot of times it has to do with dehydration as well.
Yeah, so ladies, I definitely would say that water has its benefits. So don't be afraid to walk around with, if you want a gallon, or they have like cute little things you can walk around with just to get that water in. Don't be afraid to, drink while you're working out. I run to the bathroom all the time while I'm working out, but I know I'm consuming the water that I need daily. Moving on to mistake number 5, it's doing all the fluffy magazine exercises and the same workouts every single day.
You want to take it, or you want me to take it?
You can start.
All right, so doing all the fluffy magazine exercises, we've talked about this time and time and again, and this is why we developed the Glutylicious program on NewYorkMuscleRadio.com, because too many women were doing all these, they see these stuff on Instagram and in magazines, and they do all these weird exercises on the Bosu ball, one leg this, kick the air here, and they think they're actually doing something, and they're actually doing nothing.
What'd you say? Kicking the
air. Yeah, that's an exercise.
I know.
I know. I've done it.
I'm laughing too because I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a gym and there would just be like one female over there doing some type of weird exercise, and I'm like, yeah, she was just on Instagram 15 minutes ago. Like, there's no other way.
That when you walk in the gym and you see the girl kicking the air.
Yeah, of course. Then I know I have a new friend in the gym.
You're staring bullseye, right? You're staring at that, right?
Yeah, and that's how you know right away. I'm like, yeah, she just got that exercise off of Instagram. There's no other place that she found that exercise.
And a lot of those programs are actually cheap, and I feel like they're cheap on purpose because they'll get you to buy it.
Oh, yeah, because they reach so many people, so they just sell them for $5 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, we were
I'm not
talking.
gonna lie. As a woman, like you're just curious about if it is really gonna work because you see the girl and you're like, wow, she looks really good. I could look like that. But
And
now,
this is why I love, and me and Pete were talking about this the other day, and not to be biased, but I really do feel like we put out products that no one else puts out because we've literally done this. We've been in this industry combined like 50 years, something like that, a crazy number.
It's almost at that point, yeah.
And it's just like, maybe not 50 years.
Yeah,
what is
no.
it? Like 30.
It's like 30, yeah.
Yeah, like 30 years. Sorry, I over exaggerated that.
Don't worry, it will make it to 50. That's for sure.
Yeah. But you get the idea. Like we've been through so much, we know what works and what doesn't. I mean, and Laura's proof in the pudding too. That's why I know when any woman, I could confidently say when any woman picks up any one of our programs, they're gonna get results from it. Especially if they're looking to develop their glutes. There's no way in hell that our program's not gonna get them glutes. It's just not gonna happen. But yeah, doing all that fluffy Instagram magazine stuff, that's all just wasting time, ladies. I'm sorry to say that to you, but it's just wasting time. What you're doing, you're just sitting in the air, you're kicking the air, you're sitting on your knees, you're kicking the air, and you just have creepy guys like Pete Kacharian just staring at you for no reason when you could be squatting and you'd have a guy like me come up to you and start talking to you.
Yeah, the only results you guys are going to get from doing those weird kicks in the air is you're going to have the creepy guy come over and start talking to you. If you actually want to get real results, you got to do the real work.
So true. And Laura, you mentioned same workouts too.
yeah, doing the same workout every day. And when I get that. Like some people do the same thing every single day. I think that you guys think that you would be stronger in that sense, but it's not true because those muscles that you worked out that day need to be rested and recover itself. So by doing the same movements and workout every day, those muscles have no time to recover, and it can cause injury as well, and you won't get stronger from it. You need to give each muscle group at least 48 hours of rest, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that's another thing too, is so many women just do the same thing over and over again. I can't even tell you.
Like they feel like if they do legs every single day, they'll have a nicer...
Did you do that?
It's all right. We all make mistakes. Yeah. But you see, the funny...
I have to say, like, I didn't really care about upper body as much, but...
So you do legs every day? But what would
No.
What would you repeat anything? So how many times a week did you do legs then?
Oh, a lot.
As many times as she went to the gym that week.
Yeah, I honestly, I would do those stupid things, the kicks in the air every day because I thought it was gonna do something.
Okay. So wait, so tell us your old routine, because I bet you some of the women listening just like, oh shit, that's my routine.
All right. Well, I don't want to put her out there, but there's a program, Katie Hearn program. Now, this girl, she has a nice fit body. You guys know who she is, right? You've seen?
Yeah.
I think I know who she is. Again, I don't really know, but go ahead.
Yeah. So I bought the program a while ago, and I was like, let me try this out because, you know what, maybe I can look like her or whatever. So she has this one exercise, which was the glute kickbacks. And I bought the strap and everything to put around my ankle. And I'm like, all right, how many of these should I do that it's actually going to work? Because I feel absolutely nothing is working. And just basically seeing no progress along the way. And I'm like, this is a total waste. And then that's when I got into powerlifting, and now I see a total change. So I would never, honestly, buying that, the strap was a waste for me.
So what was her routine like? First of all, how much was this crap?
80, I would say. I don't.
Holy shit, wow. $80?
Yeah, something like that. It was expensive.
Wait, so it was just a program she sent you?
Yeah.
Wow, damn, man, we need to raise our prices.
You know what it is, man? Nobody wants quality. They want quick fixes. The quick fixes sell for more than the quality stuff.
Yeah, go figure. Wait, so what was the routine like?
She did, I think it was lower body 3 times a week and then upper body twice.
But was it just random?
Yeah, like for legs, she would put in those glute kickbacks, and then she would do step ups, side lunges.
With no weight, right?
Lightweight, high reps.
Oh my God, idiotic. Pete, why doesn't that work? Let's explain it to our females, but try to talk in English, man.
Right. Well, simply because whatever muscles you do want to shape or improve, you have to grow them. So if your glutes, we're going to talk glutes because that's pretty much what a program is. Your glutes are a muscle. So you're not going to shape them. You're going to make them either bigger or smaller. Okay. So if you want nice, round, shapely glutes, that's going to come from making those glutes bigger muscles. So how do you make a muscle bigger? Well, muscles were made to move things. That's what they're there for. So kicking the air and stuff like that, you're not moving anything. You're not challenging those muscles to resistance. So moving with resistance leads to bigger muscles. So what's the best way to do that? Using an exercise where you can apply the most amount of force and the most amount of weight to those muscles. So that's why a squat and a deadlift is so much superior to a glute kickback, or I don't even know what some of these exercises are. These girls do banded leg raises and stuff like that. Because think about it, if you're doing a glute kickback with a band, how much resistance are you really placing on the glutes? Yeah, you might feel it squeeze and you might get a little good pump and everything like that, but the amount of resistance you're challenging your muscles with is nothing. It might be a few pounds. Now, if you're like Laura and you put a 200 plus barbell on your back and you squat, that's a lot of resistance on the muscles. So that resistance and that stress on the muscle is going to make it bigger. She's going to get stronger. She's going to get bigger. So her 200-pound squat is going to do way more than a banded kickback. So that always has to be the focus with anything in your body. If you want to get it toned, we'll use that term. You need to make those muscles bigger so you see them more. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies, I would just say get into powerlifting.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. We have the New York Strong program on New York Muscle Radio. That's our Get Strong program. That'll help too. The Glutylicious program will help. Any program that we put out basically is what you need. And get rid of all this other crap. I can't believe you paid $80. This is why you got no money.
All right.
This is why, because you spend all your money nonsensely.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah,
I've learned.
God. Yeah, finally. All these years, you finally start listening to me. See? And look, now you host your own podcast.
Yeah. On that note, let's move on to mistake number 6, which is lifting like a girl.
Well, yeah, I guess that kind of was. We should have combined those two. That was a misprint on our part.
Yeah.
I know some guys that lift like girls too, though. So it's not only a female problem. It's a lot of men. Men are making that an issue too.
Well, actually, I guess you kind of talk about it. When we say lifting like a girl, it doesn't necessarily mean actually lifting. Majority of the time, and ladies, I know this may be hard for some of you to hear, but women that come to the gym, they walk in the gym and they go straight to the cardio area. They'll do cardio and then they'll leave. That's not really a workout, or they'll go in a class and say, "Oh, I'm doing weights. There's weights in this class." If the weights are under 15 pounds, it's not weight. It's not enough resistance. If you're doing 100 reps or something, it's not enough. You need to be lifting like a guy. You need to lift like Arnold Schwarzenegger would lift. That's the only way you're going to get results, plain and simple. So don't be a cardio bunny and stay out of the aerobic room. Because those classes do nothing but just burn calories.
Yeah, basically said it all. So now moving on to mistake number 7, that would be doing too much cardio.
Damn,
I guess we talk about
Hey man, you're the one jumping ahead again. For anybody who doesn't listen to New York Muscle Radio, I get yelled at every episode. Pete, you jumped ahead. So you know what? Now I got to do it to you. I got to roast you. You're jumping ahead, man.
But yeah, we do always talk about cardio, and cardio is important to a certain point. Like, yeah, you want to get that cardio in, but still get that weight training in as well.
So I'll give you guys like a good example here. Laura, how much cardio are you doing right now?
600 calories a week.
So you burn 600 calories a week. What does that equate
to?
So
it takes me 20 minutes.
Oh, so you're doing it in one day. So you do 20 minutes of cardio one day a week.
Oh, no. I break that up.
So
20 minutes each day, right?
So 3 times a week, I would say.
Okay, so you do cardio 20 minutes 3 times a day. Pete, how much cardio you do?
None.
Anthony, how much cardio you do? None. So it just goes to show you that you don't need to be doing significant amount of cardio to actually be burning fat and getting a good body. You just got to be smart about your training. And again, this is why hiring a coach and doing things like this is what's going to help you, because this is how you learn your body. Just going in the gym and just haphazardly training and, I'm just going to do a little cardio today, or I'm going to diet a little bit today. Just doing things like that, you're not going to get anywhere. And believe me, I've spun my wheels so many times. Pete has spun his wheels so many times. And our host, Laura Bevilacqua, has spun her wheels so many times too. It wasn't until we all started training smart that we actually started getting really, really good results.
So yeah, those are the 7 common mistakes.
Wait, hold on, Laura. One quick question. And I hate to do this again. I did it on the other podcast, but I'll do it again. How much cardio were you doing before you started training correctly? And obviously we know how much you're doing now. So what were you doing before?
Sometimes I would do 45 minutes of cardio. Probably a day, I would say, maybe 35.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, cardio was basically my life. It would take up so much time. And now that I'm not doing it as much and still seeing the results that I want to see, it's just so much better than it used to be.
45 minutes every day, that sucks. And how did you feel like your body looked? Like, compare your body then to now.
Oh, back then I would just say there was nothing really to it. Like it wasn't bad, but there was nothing really to it. You couldn't really tell that I was fit, or you couldn't really tell that I even went to the gym. I was kind of just like an average. To whereas now I see that leanness and I see that, okay, this girl goes to the gym, this girl works out. Like a bunch of people come up to me now and they're like, oh, you work out? So there's so much more of a difference now.
Yeah, and I like to say, women that do too much cardio get that cardio body where everything's kind of flabby looking, but they're still like lean, they're still like skinny, but it's like flabby looking, nothing looks tight. And you won't get that tight look doing just cardio. So doing too much cardio is definitely a huge mistake for women.
So anything else you guys want to say before I close this out?
No. So what you got to do at this point, Laura, and we'll leave this in so everyone can hear me correcting you. So this way they don't get messages like, Anthony, get off the podcast. But usually after we talk about all the mistakes, then at this point, then you just say, okay, so now we wrapped up all the 7 mistakes. So that's the 7 mistakes, ladies. So ladies, that is the 7 mistakes that most of you guys make in the gym. Don't make those mistakes. See, something like that. Go ahead.
All right. So, well, he said it. So now I'm just going to give you guys the closing tip of the day. So if you ladies are feeling like you're losing that motivation, just change up your exercise routine every now and then. And I know like school and work can get in the way of your goals, but you have to keep moving and just never give up, because at the end of the day, it's always you versus you, and no one can take that away from you. And just keep your head high, beauties. So on that note, I will close this podcast with a positive vibe, because we only have positive vibes on this podcast. So ladies, this is Laura, Pete, and Anthony with the Bikini and Barbell Show, and always remember, strength and beauty can exist in the same body with training like a man.
Enjoyed this episode of New York Muscle Radio? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a 5-star review, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, New York Muscle Radio.